Hey guys, it's been a while, but today I am back to review and unbox this Discovery Kit that I've created with Spectrum Noir. Now, this kit is one of the smaller ones. There is a larger one out at this point as well. But in this kit, you'll see you have a bunch of markers that come in these colours. And if I show you on the back, you get the markers, the fine liner, and you get some images to colour as well. So this kit was designed as a beginner kit. It's just basically to help get people into using the fine liner and doing the liner, and also to practice with using markers and to help with their colouring as well. So you see you've got in this pack, you've got 2 of the Classiques and 3 of the Illustrator pens and a fine liner. And all that's left in here is the images and a little booklet. So with these, it's just a little leaflet that basically has some information in it for you. So I'll give you a quick look. It's a brief introduction on the pens and how you can use them, and a very short tutorial as well on how to colour in your images that's inside. And here are the 3 images that come with this kit. They're fairly basic images as they are just for beginners, but you can expand on them as well, which I'll show you later on. It also comes with 3 extra pieces of paper or card, and these come in quite handy as well, especially if you want to practice on them. So I'm just going to tidy these away a little bit. So moving on to the pens. Now first we're going to start off with the fine liner that comes with this. It is a black fine liner, 0.3 in size. So this is how thin it is. It should be okay for filling in the lines that are in the images that are provided. And then you get the Illustrator pens. Now these are your standard brush marker pens, and you can see that by the little symbol that's displayed here. So these 3 Illustrator pens that come with it, the previous one was the Suntan CR3, that one was the Silk CR1, and this one is Cerulean IB3. So there you go, there's the brush tip. And these pens can be a little bit hard to open when you first get them. Now these ones are the Classique dual tip markers. So that one was the Poppy DR2, and this one is the Blue Grade 5. Now the difference between the previous pens and these pens is this one has a chisel tip, and with all markers they have a bullet tip on the ends as well, which is great for small details. Now all these marker pens are alcohol based, and they are actually refillable as well, but I might do another video on that, all about the pens of Spectrum Noir. If anyone's interested, just let me know. So let me give you a quick demonstration on what these pens are like and how the colour is when you use them. These ones that I'm starting off with are the Classique pens, which are the chisel tips. And next we're going to move on to the Illustrator pens. Now when I was first approached to do these kits, essentially what we agreed on was to use both types of pens, the Classiques and the Illustrators. Generally it's because both pens are used for different things. So whether you're doing architecture or comics, chisel tips are great for colouring large areas or block colours, and the Illustrator pens are my personal favourite, which is really great for doing more painterly style. And here's a brief example of the fine liner. So here it is up close for you to have a look at. Right, so with that out of the way, we're going to move on to colouring some of the images. Now the first thing we're going to need is to take one of these pieces of card. Every time you colour in something with alcohol marker pens, I always recommend using one extra scrap piece of paper just underneath. So these 2 pictures are kind of a practice piece before you get onto the main piece. So we're going to start with this one. There you go, so make sure it's underneath, just align it, just in case there's any bleeding from the alcohol markers, which sometimes happens. Now we'll grab the how-to booklet. In this booklet you'll find the sort of small tutorials in order to colour in these images. They're very brief, but they give you a good idea of how to get started. This will help us with technique and also to copy the colours that we can see used. Unfortunately, they kind of cut off the legs of the image in the booklet, so I guess anyone using this can kind of wing that part. So we're going to get started with the Classique Poppy pen, and we're going to use the bullet tip end in order to start this off. And just make sure to go over the little bits that are a little bit more shaded, just a little bit more with the pen. Okay, so now moving on to the Blue Grey 5 Classique marker pen as well. We're going to get started on the how. I always feel it's best that when you're trying to tackle large areas that you try to do it in sections. So for this part we're just going to colour in the front part of the how. And now we're going to move on to the Cerulean Illustrator marker. And using the brush tip we're just going to fill in the eye areas. So then carrying on from this, you'll want to continue with the hair, and then the clothes, and then the legs. I'm not sure if anyone was interested in me actually going through the whole image. I will be finishing off the final image properly, fully, but let me know if that's something you're interested in. So this is basically what it looks like, and you'll follow on the same with the second image as well, just to practice and get used to using the pens. The how-to booklet should help you with the steps you need to take. It's very brief, it doesn't show you step by step until the end, but basically it gives you a rundown of the way it's used. So with that done, it's time to move on to the final image. Great, so now we're going to get started on the final image. So never forget to put the piece of card behind the picture before you start. I will be doing this from start to finish, so let's go! Cool, so that's all 3 images done. So these are 2 practice images and the final one that's also done. This kit includes everything you should need in order to get started as a beginner, but I will show you what you can do if you want to take it a little bit further. I've done a large piece here for you to see kind of all the details that you can get. But if you're willing to push yourself a little bit further, you can put in a little bit more detail if you have more colours on hand. So you can put a background in, you can put more shading in the hair and the clothing if you have the extra colours, which don't come in this kit, but if you have them on hand, it's quite fun to do. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.